Today we're joined by Bill Henderson. Bill, would you like to tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Well, you ask where I'm from. I grew up in Guernsey County, over on the east side of Ohio, um, in a little town called Old Washington, 8 miles east of Cambridge, which is the county seat of Guernsey County, and um, lived in Old Washington. Went to school all 12 years in the same building, from first grade through graduation, and after I graduated, went down to Ohio University and got a bachelor's degree there in sociology. Um, I worked a year, almost a year in Cambridge, directing a Head Start program, and got accepted to go back to Ohio University to work on a master's degree, and so headed back there in the late '60s, and started working on a master's degree, and got hired before I finished my final paper to be a 4-H agent in Allen County, and I've lived in Allen County since April 1 of 1971. And I've always said, I'm not sure who got fooled the most, me or the people in the county. But anyway, we lived here in the county since 1971. The first year I attended Buckeye Leadership Workshop would have been in 1980. We always recruited 4-H members in the spring, and we sent 2 people from the county to Buckeye Leadership Workshop for years. Usually it was an adult and a youth, and I had sung with a group called the Dulcimer Alliance from '72 on through 1979, and the group broke up at the end of 1979, and so I decided I would give traveling to Buckeye Leadership Workshop a try. And so that's when I started. We had a left me. When I got to Buckeye Leadership Workshop, it was a whole new experience for me. Fact is, if I even gave thought that I would pack up and head home, but I didn't, and I ended up taking the very first class that I took. I hiked up the hill, and this was at Pilgrim Hills at that time, and I was either going to go left or I was going to go right, and I ended up going right because Barry Jolliffe was doing a song leading session in a cabin over there. So I took his song leading session, and it turned out that Barry was going to go back to school to work on his master's degree, and so he dropped out of Buckeye that year. And at the end of or throughout that workshop, there were a couple times where we came down and did song leading for the entire Buckeye Leadership Workshop, and so I was one of the ones that got to do that as well. And since Barry was going off to school, somehow I got nominated to run for committee and got elected. Had Barry not gone off to graduate school, I'm sure I would never have been elected. But The next year at the workshop, I was assigned song leading duties for the workshop. So that's where we ended up developing a song circle, and that wasn't planned either. But it worked out, and we did that all the way through the rest of the workshop that I was there, and we did it every year after that. Um, so it was a lot of fun, and I had an opportunity to learn some new techniques that I could use, and as I work with 4-H members here in the county, and that developed then into an expanded number of workshops that I went to in addition to Buckeye Leadership Workshop. I was to at least 7 other official rec labs in Minnesota and Indiana, Colorado, South Dakota, Illinois, and Michigan. So as I went through my experience with Buckeye Leadership Workshop, the 2019 Rec Lab would have been my 40th. Rec Lab, and that didn't happen. So, and 20 didn't happen either. So, and 21 isn't going to happen directly. So anyway, but I learned a lot and used the skills that I learned through Buckeye Leadership Workshop to do a lot of programming in a lot of different places. What's my favorite song in Song Circle? I don't know that there is a favorite song, but Bill Alkire was one that taught a song and eventually developed a dance to go with "'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free," and I've used that many times setting up and getting ready for the Song Circle at Buckeye Leadership Workshop. And Bill Alkire developed a dance with it, and we've done that then in the Song Circles as well. And he didn't give a name to the dance that he did, but I call it Alkire's simple gifts. And we've done that for many years, and it gets us off to a good start. But Song Circle has been very popular, and it ranks right at the top of the programming done at Buckeye Leadership Workshop. It's just a wonderful experience, and I get the best seat in the house, right in the center of a circle. But it's a wonderful experience, and has been a wonderful experience for almost everybody that's been there, that they enjoyed it a lot. What word would I use to describe Buckeye Leadership Workshop? Don't know that I could do it in a single word, but friendship, I think, is one of the main things that comes out of Buckeye Leadership Workshop. We had people from anywhere from 6 to 11 states have been at the workshop, and they've been from as far away as Arizona and clear over to the East Coast as well. And it's been a wonderful experience to get to work with a lot of different people. I was reelected to the committee, and eventually was elected to the permanent committee, and had good people there to work with as well, as we planned it and developed new ideas for each program year that we did. Um, Favorite memories of some of the people that I got to work with at Buckeye Leadership Workshop would have been Bill Alkire, as I mentioned, and Susie Smithers. We did committee meetings at her house and rode horses and we even did family programs there as well. And my daughter wasn't very old, but she was out with her mom in the barn, and Susie had several llamas on their farm as well as horses, and as she went up to one of the llamas, it ended up spitting on her, and so she turned around and spit on the llama. Yeah, but again, a lot of memories of the committee and working with him. Things that I've learned at Buckeye that I use in my personal life and that surprised me is the number of places that the things I learned at Buckeye have taken me, and the reaction to the places I've been. I've been to all of these workshops that I mentioned before, and I've been at all of them at least 3 times. And I think I've been to Black Hills at Chatco probably 5 times at Chatco minimum, and around 10 times at Black Hills. And again, meeting people and the friendships that you get to form there, and that's so important. But the skills I learned there, those were I shared it variously at all the workshops that I got to do, and song leading was one of the ones that I expanded the songs that I sang, learning from leaders at the various workshops, but also got to do song leading there. So that's been an important part of my life. Advice for people that might be on a fence about attending in the future. I'd say get off the fence. You'd be surprised at just how many friendships you'll make in that process, and how much you'll grow. I've grown by teaching classes there, as well as attending classes at the various workshops, and it's developed a number of skills that I've used as I've been around the country, working with 4-H programs, National 4-H Association meetings, teaching classes there, and working with 4-Hers in Virginia and Pennsylvania and Indiana and Michigan. It's been such a neat experience collecting things that you can use and teach, and that's been very important. Some other people that impacted my life, John Farc was a 4-H agent about the same time I was in Ohio, but I never worked. It was quite a few years before I ever worked with him directly. And after I met him at the Buckeye Leadership Workshop, then we developed a strong friendship from there. Eventually, they changed around the counties that were in various districts in the state, and I got to work directly with him in Marion County when he was there. So, Karen Saker, lady from over in northeast Ohio. Um, we taught classes together, and I took classes from her, and we had again developed a lot of skills. Jerry Elliott, he worked basically at the same time that Bill Alkire was working with the program, and I learned about rope flipping from them when they took a piece of scrap wood in the lodge and whittled out a little rope flipper, and I've been doing that ever since, particularly with our Think Together groups, and just as one of the things that we do at a Think Together session, and then giving them a rope flipper to take home with them when we're done. So hopefully they enjoyed that as well. Chrissy Lees has been a major impact on the workshop as well. She's provided a lot of leadership and a variety of classes that I've taken from her, and always had a great time. When I was at the Black Hills, Ruth Moe was on the state staff in the Dakotas, and she was very influential. Karen Ward, I met at Black Hills, and still I'm very good friends with her. We've been at a number of other work, Chatco, Rocky Mountain Rec Lab, and she's actually been to the Buckeye Leadership Workshop as well. So it's the friendships you learn and the skills you pick up. And who would have thought that I would be all over the country using skills that I'd learned at Buckeye, and being invited back to do it again and teach new things while I was there. So it's a great learning experience, and one that I'd recommend to anybody. If you work with people, you can always take home new skills that you can work with them directly, and Buckeye Leadership is a great place to hone your skills and expand them. So hope to see you there sometime.
All right, I've got a bonus question. I think I've heard some rumors about how the first song circle really happened with some back scratching. Can you go into detail on that a little bit?
Well, when we were at Pilgrim Hills, the lodge that we did most of our evening programs in, and had our dinners, all of our meals there, was in an L-shaped room. It started at the fireplace at the south end, stretched up clear to the other end of the lodge, and then that was where we did our evening programs. And then the L was where we ate meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And when I was there for the very first time to lead singing, I was waiting for people to come away from breakfast, and they were moving very slowly to get down to where we were going to sing. And a few people came trickling out, and I don't even remember how exactly we got started, but we started doing a little back scratch. We'd put a person in front of us, and we'd start doing a little back scratch on their back, and as people came away, they just kept getting in line, and pretty soon we had a fairly nice line going, and we turned around and did it the other direction, and people kept coming out then, and after they'd finished breakfast, and eventually we just kind of bent that original line around and formed a circle and did a back scratch with them. And so the people that came out, why, they started their back scratch circle and around the outside of our circle, and that became our song leading circle. We just kept that circle going, and we've done it every year that I've been to Buckeye, all 39 years that I've been to Buckeye Leadership Workshop. So So it's just the way it worked out, and it was a mistake that turned into a really good thing. Because as I said earlier, the song leading circle, and we've had other people come and help me inside the circle to lead singing, and that has ranked very high on toward the top of the list of the favorite things at Buckeye Leadership Workshop. So that's has been such a delight to me, because I'd never directed music before for the most part. So it opened up a whole new world in directing choirs and cantatas for me after that as well. So you can get a whole new world from coming to Buckeye that you didn't even know was out there, and possibilities. So it's a great place to learn.
All right. Thanks, Bill.